Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. We'll invite those who are in the sanctuary to settle into a seat for tefillah this evening. Anyone joining us from afar can also find your makom for tefillah. And just take a nice deep breath, because Shabbat is upon us. All week we wait, we yearn, and so it's almost upon us. We still have the time to really get into it, to separate from whatever it is we need to separate from this week, and to sink deeply into the beauty and sacredness of this holy day. We'll begin with Yedid Nefesh on page 252 in the Sim Shalom, in the Lev Shalem, these red sidurim here, page 10.
Yedid Nefesh Av Harachaman Beshoch Avdach El Retzonah
with the Chunaranana, page 11 or page 254. Let us go and sing. Let us hear our voices together as we praise.
The
Arba'im Shana Kut Bezo Vahomar Toile Vaven Vehem Vayatu Deramai Asher Nishbati Ve'api Im Yevaun El Menuchati. Of 13.
Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz.
Shiru l'Adonai, baruch shemo, asru meyom Yeshuato.
Sapru v'goyim, kevodo, v'chol ha'amim, nifleotav.
Ki gadol Adonai, hu le'olam me'od, al kol Elohim.
Ki kol Elohei, amim helilim, v'Adonai shamayim masah. משפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני, כבוד ועוז.
הבו לאדוני, כבוד שמו, זהו מקרא, ובוא לחצותה.
השתחוו לאדוני, בהדרת קודש, גילו מפניו כל הארץ. אמרו בגויים, אדוני מלך, אפיקון דרך, ותימות ידין העמים במישרים. יזמחו בשמיים, ותגל הארץ, עירם כולו. ירוס עדיין, וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל ארציה. לפני אדוני, כי בא, לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט תבל, בצדק ועמים באמונתו. היי לה 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 לה.
Top of 15, Adonai Malach, together.
Shama ותשמח
ותגלנה בנות יהודה למען משפטיך אדוני.
כי אתה אדוני אלוהינו על כל הארץ, מאוד נעלית על כל אלוהים.
אוהבי אדוני שנורא, שומר נפשו חסידיו, יד רשעים יצילם.
אור זרוע לצדיק ולישרי לב ושמחה, שמחו צדיקים באדוני והודו לזכר קודשו.
זכר חסדו ואמונתו. הריון אדוני כל הארץ פיצחו ורעננו. ירם ויבום תבל ויושבבה, נערות ימחאוך יחד, יחד ערים ירננו.
לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט אמת בצדק ועמים במישרים.
אדוני מלך יגזר מי יושב
קרובים זרת אדוני בציון גדול ורם על כל top of page 20.
משה ואהרון בכהניו ושמואל בקורא שמו, קוראים אל אדוני והוא יענם.
בעמוד ענן ידבר עליהם, שמרו עדותיו וחוק נתן להם.
אדוני אלוהינו אתה עניתם, אל נושאית להם תנוקם על עלילותם.
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
Invite you to rise if you're able, page 21 or page 260. seated. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We come upon the end of the book of Bamidbar, the Shabbat. We have a double parsha, Matot Maseh, and in the thinking about all of what has happened in the Midbar, in the desert, as the people are wandering and walking, and we even get a list of all the different places that they've stopped. They're about to go into the Promised Land, and there are two of the tribes. They actually get broken up into the tribes. This is how they're going to go into Eretz Israel, and two of the tribes turn to Moshe, and they actually say, Reuven and Gad, and they say, we would like to not go into the land with the people. And Moshe says, no way, that's not going to happen. You're going to have to come with us. However, there's a deal that's struck that they'll be settling outside of the land. They want to stay on the east of the Jordan, and then they'll be able to go in. And there are a lot of questions as to why is Moshe so upset about this question? Sometimes you might say, actually, it seems pretty obvious to separate yourself from the group, but in one midrash, it explains this in a very particular way. And it says that as these two tribes, Reuven and Gad, were asking Moshe if they could stay, they weren't prioritizing things correctly. And the midrash and the rabbis are so clever with the language. This is always the really fun part about looking at the midrash together, that it starts by saying, Asu et ha'ikar tafel, v'hatafel ikar. Lama. So it asks this question, these tribes treated the ikar, the essence of what's most important, as the tefel, as the thing that's not as important, as the secondary thing, and they treated that which was secondary as the most important thing. How did they do this? We're always going to ask how. What does this mean? When they came to Moshe and they asked Moshe, can we stay here? They said, what we want to do is we want to stay here and we want to build and create spaces for our animals to live, and then we're going to create places for our children. And when Moshe responds to them, and when Moshe comes back to them and says, you want to stay here, you're going to build places for your children, and then you're going to create the spaces for your animals and for those other pieces of living beings that are a part of who you are. But first the children, and then we're going to focus on that which comes next. And the children being the ikar, being the essence of what it is that we're focusing on. And I often think of this question, just what is the ikar? What is the essence? What is it all about? What is life all about? What is the thing that we want to be focusing on? What are our priorities? And this coming Shabbat, we're going to announce the new month of Av. We're going into we're already in a very special time in our calendar where we are heading toward Tisha B'Av. We're heading toward the destruction of our temple, which then leads us into the time of Elul, which is the time of reflection, repentance, asking this very question of what is the ikar? What is it that we want to focus on? What are our priorities? How do we want to live in this world, both personally and asking about what are the priorities, the people, the relationships I want to be focusing on, and also what are the priorities I have in the way that I'm choosing to live my life with climate change and the actions that I'm doing, the words that I'm saying, with anything that I feel is a priority. Am I living that out? Am I really truly choosing to live that out? And then we come to this time of year where we ask that question and we focus on it and we really immerse ourselves in it. But every single week, I think of Shabbat as being the Moshe that responds to Reuven and Gad in this week's parsha. I think of Shabbat as turning and saying, what are your real priorities? We don't only have one time of year where we ask this question. Every single week, Shabbat pushes us into asking this very question of saying, how do I want to live my life? What is most important to me? And what is the tefel? What is getting in the way of me being able to live that life that I want to be living, that I need to be living, that I should be living? That is the spiritual journey that we're on. That is, I think, as I was thinking about this and learning this and saying, why is this piece standing out to me so much? That is what I love so deeply about religion and the countercultural aspect of what we're doing here and why we're stopping and pausing to ask such a simple and such a difficult question. What is the ikar? What is the essence of what we're trying to do in our lives, and how do we do that? And we're here to ask that very question together as we go into Shabbat, as we continue to make our way through Av and then into Elul, into this time of year of asking these questions. We look around and we say, we're here. We're here to do this work together. We're not doing it alone. We don't need to ask it alone. And that these priorities are something that we can check in on every single week. So as we greet the Shabbat Queen, as we begin Lechadodi, which we turn to page 23 or 262, we can take one moment and pause and ask, what is that ikar? And am I living it out? And how can I live it out in its most meaningful ways as we head into Av, Elul, and into a new year together? Shabbat Shalom.
Ay, 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 ay. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela
Continue with the Psalm for Shabbat, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, page 27 or page 266.
טוב להודות לאדוני עוד ינובון בשיבה
עוד ינובון בשיבה
דשנים ורעננים יהיו
This is the Berdichever Nigun, and there's something very particular about it because it, some Nigunim just ascend and they don't stop. And this is a Nigun that stops, and it kind of teaches that the pause is just as important as the song, that you actually have to give it rest in order to give it the power that it has to give. And I think that's also in this double parasha of Matot Mas'eh, that the 42 journeys are not only about the journeys, but about the stopping too. And just as the week is just about the stopping, and the song is just about the silence too. So I invite us, even as we daven out loud or we sing, we hope that people feel free to express, because that's the power also of release, but also then to let the silences rest and the quiet live and the Shabbat breathe, in order that we can all embody that expansiveness, both in the journeying and in the stopping. Please rise, Baruch Hu, page 39A or 279.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Mazer yom mevi layla, mavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamidim lo chadenu le'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai, Amari v'Ravi.
Page 40, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael Amcha.
כי הם חיינו, יורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם בלילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Shema,
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרת מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. מה נשמעות
ויאמר אדוני מה שלי. Amen.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
אמת אמונה כזאת וקיים עלינו. We pray for redemption on page 44 or 290.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא להילות מלכותך רבו בניך יוקי הים לפני משה זרי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We pray for peace, page 45 or 292. Hashkivenu Adonai.
Shalom
your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, haporeh sukat shalom aleinu upon us, Ve'al kol amo Yisrael, upon all the people of Israel, Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, upon all the people of the world, Ve'al Yerushalayim. Shamru, page 46.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמדי רק ירצה, והמליך מלכותי,
בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יש מרבה מברך לעולם לעולם היד יתברך.
וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי תקודשה ברכו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה.
תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא.
אמרו אמן.
We face Yerushalayim towards the east for the silent Amidah. The formal text begins on page 47 or in Sim Shalom on page 396, or please use the prayers of your own heart.
Please remain standing. Vayechulu, page 53 or 314.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון. בשמיים בארץ.
מגן אבות בדברו וחיי מתים במאמרו האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו.
המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו כי בם רצה להניח להם.
לפניו נעבוד בינה בפחד ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד.
לאון הברכות, להודות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת וברך שביעי.
מניח בקדושה להעמיד ושני עונג זכר למעשה בראשית.
אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו אמותינו רצה במנוחתנו קדשנו עצותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך סבינו מטובך ושמח נפשנו משועתך ותאר ליבנו לעבדך באמת והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך וינוחו בישראל מקדשי שמך ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Kaddish Shalem, page 54, 316.
יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה ויעלמה דברה קילותה וימליך מלכותה בחייכון וביום יכון ובחי לכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך.
וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ונעשה ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי תקודשה בריחו לעילמים כל ברכתו ושירתה תושבחת ונחמתה דמירה מעלמה ואמרו אמן.
תתקבל צורותון לכל ישראל קדם המון משמיים ואמרו
אמן. יהא שלום רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
It's Shabbos, everyone. We turn to Kiddush.
Shabbos.
Or Shabbat Shalom, whatever you prefer. Page 55 is Kiddush, and small cups of juice are being passed around, and you can also greet your neighbor next to you, and anyone who's at home is welcome to grab a kos Kiddush, a cup of wine or juice. Like schnapps, but it's just juice. Kiddush, page 55.
You can take two also.
Everything is double on Shabbat anyway.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא הקודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון נחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
L'chaim, l'chaim. I didn't see any children here. Are there any children here? Mine are still. There are. There's some in the back. All right, bring them on up. Bring them on. We're deficient of children in general because many of them are at summer camp, like mine, but they're coming back soon. There are. Where'd they go? Here we go. This is how we torture children, is we make them come up front.
המלאך הגואל אותי, המלאך הגואל אותי מכל רע, יברך את הנערים ויקרב בהם שמי, ושם אבותיי ושם אבותיי אברהם ויצחק וידגו לרוב וידגו לרוב בקרב
רחל וליה, ישמחה אלוהים כאפרים וכמנשה, יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
Now to page
You hold the
56
tali, you can get a lollipop,
for Aleinu.
or if you're under it. Welcome from Florida.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נותן שמיים ויוסד על עצמו שם יגרום שמיים ושפינת
כפצי בדבר כשמגיעים תאכלים על כי נקב לכם ותקנו לנו כי לך תיכה כל בית ובעקום יברך עליהם כי המלכות שלך יונים
ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Invite those who are in mourning or marking a yard site, or those who are on Zoom can unmute at this time for Mourners Kaddish on page 58 or page 200 or 324. Yitzgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabba. Amen. V'yamad yibrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitadeh v'yitadal shemei l'kudesha brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'miran v'alma v'yamru amen Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen Oseh shalom v'yaseh shalom ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yamru amen May be seated. Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
We want to extend our condolences to our BJ Operations crew manager, Lou Vega, and his entire family on the death of his mom, Isabel Vega. She died in Florida, and we'll welcome Lou back when he comes back after the memorial. Tomorrow morning services are at 9:30 for Shabbat Matot Mas'eh and Mivrachim HaChodesh, and 11 o'clock early childhood families in the chapel. And there'll be this Shabbat. We've learned that it's pretty humid and hot in New York these days, and I think it's going to rain tomorrow also, so we're going to make the Kiddush moving forward in the reception room with the air conditioning. And just to note also, for those who need the restrooms, the elevator on 88th Street is not working, so if you need to use the restrooms and you need to not walk on stairs, you should go this way to 89th Street. Tomorrow evening for Arvit and Havdalah, we'll gather at 9:20 on Zoom, and Mevarchim HaChodesh announces the month of Av, which is beginning on Tuesday evening. So Shacharit on Wednesday morning will be at 7:45 in person. So Monday morning in person and on Zoom, Wednesday morning in person and on Zoom, and Thursday morning in person and on Zoom. It's earlier on Wednesday for Rosh Chodesh at 7:45 because there's Hallel, half Hallel, and Torah reading.
And Musaf.
And Musaf too, that too. It's additional. And Wednesday evening, we'll gather with our Israel educator, Kobe Cohen, for a special Israel politics discussion at 8 o'clock. He will provide an update on the recent judicial overhaul. I think people should be really paying attention what's happening in Israel right now. I mean, we should always be paying attention. This week marked a really important, problematic turn, and that was expressed in people going en masse to the streets, even more so than they've been. And we want to support all those who are marching with their feet. I was in the protests in Jerusalem when I was there just a week and a half ago. And there are also protests taking place in our own city. There's been a protest weekly on Sundays now. I think there's one coming up. We're going to send out the information on Wednesday in DC. This is a hugely critical moment in the life of Israel, in the life of Israelis, Israeli Jews, Israeli Arabs, and Palestinians who are in the occupied West Bank. And it's time we stand up. America has a huge role to play in that. We're not out of this scene, and we have to be a part of the conversation and be alert to what's going on. It's a very, very important moment. I'll be saying more about that tomorrow. Next Friday, there's an Aviv 20s, 30s, and 40s Kabbalat Shabbat dinner after Shabbat services. So you can sign up if you fall in that demographic. And as we welcome in Av, we anticipate Tisha B'Av. A week from Wednesday evening will be Arvit for Tisha B'Av with the reading of Eicha here at 8:30 as well as online. You should bring your flashlight, and it's traditional to sit on the floor during the reading of Eicha. And as we transition into Tisha B'Av and the fast and the reading of Eicha, and Thursday morning at 8 o'clock we'll have Shacharit and learning. Becca, Roli, and I will do a teaching after Shacharit. And then in the afternoon at 5:15, we have the blessing of having Ilana Stein-Hain with us, Dr. Ilana Stein-Hain of the Hartman Institute. She'll be teaching on turning lamentations into moral action, and we hope everyone will join for that. And then Mincha will be at 6:30. A couple of other small things. Plaza Memorial Chapel, which is our nonprofit local funeral home on 91st Street in Amsterdam. It's traditional to be buried in a talit, and they are low on talitot. Some people have their own, and some people don't. So sometimes people have old talitot in their family that are not being used. If you do, just drop it off at Plaza during the week so that we can help support this effort of collecting more talitot for them. And then if it's not during the traditional hours, between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., call the line to check when you can drop it off. And it's membership season. We keeps on saying this. Members in good standing were sent a special link to renew their membership. Renew your membership before August 1st to receive your High Holy Day registration on August 6th. So it's a pretty massive effort to get this whole community of thousands of people into different locations for the High Holy Days, and we want it to be as smooth a process, and most importantly, all the questions that Becca was asking before about our priorities, where are we in the world, and what are our priorities, what's the essence. We're in this intense time of year, and the High Holy Days are the time where we do that in such a collective, powerful, moving effort as a community. And so we hope many people will join us. If you've never been a member before, finances should never be a reason not to join. We have a sliding scales dues model, and we never prevent anyone. Not one person has ever been prevented for finances from joining this community. We have some other people who can carry a lot of members because they're extremely generous to this community. And that's why we are the kind of community we are. So if you've been coming and find yourself at home or looking to find a home, join us and send, actually I saw Matthew Davey is right in the back, who's our membership guru. Matthew has been fielding a lot of information, and sign up also because that's your gateway to make your choices for your locations for Yomim Noraim. The High Holy Day registration opens on this Monday for those who joined or renewed by June 30th, and we're just putting the finishing touches on the registration system. And finally, I just want to say about that, we're living in hard times, like the world is deeply broken, and there aren't easy answers to all the things that we're enduring, but it's always better to endure things together and to see if we can actually move forward together and march together and hold hands and lift people up together and aspire together. And so no one should feel alone in that. And that's part of what it means to be part of a religious community. And I hope if you haven't found that yet, that if this feels like the right place for you, that you'll be a part of it. And if you're having a hard time figuring out how to do that here, just call one of us or email one of us, and we'll do our best to help make you feel right at home. We're going to conclude with Shir LaMa'alot, which is one of the Ascension Psalms on page 121.
Page 288.
Oh, what is it?
Page 288.
288. The Psalm is 121, sorry. 288. I don't know if, this is a melody we used to do often a while ago. It comes back here and there. Here and there it's a melody that Sheva, this Israeli, used to sing in the 90s. It's a very beautiful melody, a very longing-filled melody. And it may take a little while to catch on. But we hope you will. It's at this time of longing, this time of looking to say, where will our help come? This melody, we feel, deeply expresses those questions.
90s wasn't that long ago.
Right. You had more hair and it wasn't gray.
That's it. That's the only difference.
We were young then.
שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. עזרי מעם השם, עושה שמיים וארץ, אל יתן למות רגליך. שומרך, הנה לא ינום ולא יישן, שומר ישראל. השם שומרך, השם צילך, על יד ימינך. יומם השמש לא יככה, וירח ישמורך מכל רע, ישמור את נפשך, אדוני ישמור צאתך ובואך, מעתה ועד עולם. שיר למעלות, אשא עיני אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי, עזרי מעם עושה שמיים וארץ, אל יתן רמות רגליך, אל ינום שומרך. הנה לא ינום ולא יישן, שומר ישראל, אדוני שומרך, אדוני צילך, על יד ימינך. יומם השמש לא יככה וירח בלילה, השם ישמורך מכל רע, ישמור את נפשך, אדוני ישמור צאתך ובואך, מעתה ועד עולם, מעתה ועד עולם.
Adonai Ozeh Mo Yitin. God gives strength to God's people. Adonai Yivarech et Amav Shalom. May God bless all God's people with peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbos.